Hello viewers, this is Reality Chat with Alistair Guerra, and I'm very excited about today's episode. It is true that what you fear the most is what will break you. But well, Reality Chat is here to help you confront your every fear. Today's topic, we are looking at divorce. Is it always a bad idea to divorce? Isn't it preferable to a marriage without love? And are those without spouses doomed? Well, I am glad today in the studio I have a strong panel. To my right, far right, is Marshall Mulumulu.
I'm Marshall Shana, thank you.
Mrs. Lillian Chorua and Tariro Defin Sendekerai. Welcome to the show, great people.
Thank you, Alice. Thank you for inviting us. Thank you for having us.
Well, my first question to you is, what do you think about the society that castigates divorcees?
I think I would love to answer that one. It's not necessarily society that castigates divorcees. I think the stereotypes that are attached to divorcees are mainly gendered. If you notice, when it comes to the stereotypes attached to someone who's divorced, very few times or never do they speak about men who are divorced, but it's about women who are coming out of a failed marriage. It's either they use the names or the words Mvana, failed woman, all kinds of names that are attached.
Yeah, anyone.
Or anyone.
M1.
Exactly. So what then happens is, when you look at those stereotypes, I think we should be fair to say those stereotypes apply mostly to women and have never. If you have seen instances where those stereotypes apply to men as divorcees, the bad stereotypes, let me know. So I think that's the starting point. The stereotypes attached to divorcees, it's mostly women. And we suffer because of that.
Yeah, I would agree as well. Yeah, that society tends to be more hard on women than men. Even if a man is going to remarry after divorce, it's not that difficult than it is for a woman, to settle down after divorce. So yeah, I would like to agree with Chad.
Okay. Yeah, and then some would also say that.
I think it's the socialization that we are taught to say the women are supposed to be married. Actually, that's where it starts from.
Okay.
Because in societies, especially in our African culture, you are supposed to go to school, marry, have children, take care of your husband, and that's it. Yes. So that's when that fails, automatically you are labeled a failure. They don't even look at the other successes that you've had. Just because you do not have a husband, at gatherings you are a miss.
True.
Where is mine? It's always mine. It's like, they actually, like show off to say it's an identity, So,
okay. So then I also wanted to add on to something. I think the issue here, why people who are divorcees are castigated or they are looked at as outcasts in the community. I think one other thing I would also want to add is that where women are concerned, when you become a divorcee, I would want to speak in terms of a religious perspective. People will say you didn't go into the war room enough. I'm sure you guys have watched this movie, War Room. Mm-hmm. Why is it that the woman is the one who's expected to pray about her marriage, the one who should be long suffering, long enduring, yet her husband is having the time of his life. Yet her husband is enjoying himself out there. I think people seem not to understand, and people don't understand that marriage is work, not for one party, but for both parties. Relationships are work, but marriage is double time work as compared to relationships. So I don't think it's fair to then apportion the burden on working towards making a marriage work on just the woman. I think it should be a shared responsibility.
Wow. Great.
Okay, yeah, agreed. And again, we go back to socialization, what society has taught us, They say mushamkad, shona, really. So the burden is, well, in a sense, it means that to make a home, it takes a woman.
Is that why Mukadzi Agazuzoka Kuzonzi a failure, she's a failure?
Not necessarily. Blame should be equally apportioned, because it takes two parties to a marriage, and people have to look at the circumstances why the marriage failed, you know. But because of society, because of how we are socialized and how we are raised, unfortunately, the woman always gets the blame.
Maybe we need to correct something. Chiriku Chakarishika society, maybe. Is divorce always a bad idea?
Right, that's a tricky one. It's not always a bad idea. I think in any relationship there are deal breakers.
True.
There are certain things that I accept in a relationship, in a marriage.
True.
And when I sense that I'm now compromising my sanity, it's in the best interest that I get out, then I should get out.
And then the word of God says God hates divorce.
No, but you know what? It didn't say I must suffer in that marriage.
God is love.
Yes.
God
A
loves.
marriage is supposed to be, that's why people say, well, yeah, it's supposed to be a blissful marriage.
True.
So if I'm not getting that, there's a difference in, kushaya in marriage, kuti atina, then ndaku deprive. Someone is deliberately depriving me of love, sex, and all the other stuff. Then I've got a right to say, you know what, I don't like this. And if you cannot give me this, then no.
So now
I'll move on.
I agree with her. I think when the fundamentals of a marriage or a union have been violated, or someone would say they've been sodomized, I think there's no point in trying to hold it together.
Yes.
The fundamentals include things like trust, respect. You know, in as much as people may have differences as people, as individuals, if we decide to go our separate ways and say, you know, we've tried, it's not working out, the respect must remain. But now in marriage whereby the respect has gone out the window, why should you be of long suffering? Like she rightfully mentioned, if it's no longer blissful, why should I carry on being there? So I think it was sort of a bad idea when it comes to issues like the fundamentals have been violated, one. Two, there are also issues of people should accept this. It's a painful fact. We evolve as people. You know, the 24-year-old me who got married versus the 32-year-old woman that I am today, those are two different women. You know, when I was 24 then, I had this picture of marriage that I had from when I was growing up as a little girl. I was already planning my wedding when I was a little girl, you know, how many bridesmaids, how many, you know. I was seeing myself walking down that aisle. Now I have that opportunity, I walk down that aisle. Now I find myself at 27, outside the marriage. The expectations I had when I was 24 and now at 32 are different, because I'm looking at it saying I've been in there, now I'm out. One. Two, I've grown, I've been exposed. I mean, my worldview is now different. So I think we need to also factor in that it's not a bad idea, especially when you see yourself now being a different person. You know, you can't force yourself to be someone that you are not. I even have a friend of mine who once said to me, he's a man, he said, I think there's everything wrong with a man who gets married when he's not 36 and above. He said, because you don't know self, you know, you're still finding yourself. You know, that's what he said, you know, because he said, look, at 35 or 36 at least, you know, now you know what you want. But when you are 30 and below as a man, it becomes a bit tricky. That's my view.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I think it's the responsibilities that comes with marriage. All of a sudden, you know what, you've got a baby, the in-laws, work, and you know, you can't balance it sometimes. And it will need very true understanding, mature. That's why most times it says marry your friend.
Exactly.
Because what happens when the love ends?
The friendship flourish.
The friendship, yeah. You see, we need to carry on. There are days when I want to be on my own. Not that there's anything wrong with, you know, I'm just going through, you know, he should be able to give me that space, you know, and say, oh, Lillian, don't worry, she will.
So before we get to the next, I want to jump into this question about, we said the question was, is it always a bad idea? You know what, for me, I'm finding, whilst I agree with what the ladies have said, I'm finding that our generation almost walk into marriage with an option to get out. You know, marriage is a serious institution. Marriage is serious business. All right, so it's very easy for people to divorce. I'm a wedding planner. I've done weddings where a year later, the shortest that I have is 3 months after wedding.
Wow.
You know, the groom called me and said, Marshall, I told you so. I told you so. You know, you forced me to do this thing. Because we had to convince him a few weeks before the wedding. He was saying he doesn't want.
Why did you convince him? Why did you force him?
Well, we had planned the wedding.
So what?
Listen, let me just bring it home. So it's almost like we don't value or respect. People just get into marriage. Even when I'm planning weddings, sometimes you can tell that this girl is just excited about the idea of having a wedding. Sending pictures on Instagram, slaying and stuff. But is she ready for the institution of marriage? So I think our generation does not value and put the due respect that must be put on marriage. So people go into marriage with an option. If it's not going to work in there, I'm going to get out. You know what? Yes, everyone has got a right to decide to stay in or not to stay. But I think divorce should come as a very last resort. When you have failed, when you've tried everything.
Do we have conditions like
yes,
you can walk out?
Yes, I think they are.
Yeah, but there are conditions. Like I tend to disagree a little bit with what he's saying, because when you are dating, there are always, I always say this, there are always red flags somewhere.
Of course.
But you know what?
Agree,
because you are infatuated, you're not in love.
Not in love, yeah.
You tend to throw caution to the wind and not listen. You know what? You can stay with somebody for 20 years. You can never really know a person. There's always something new coming out. But you see, you've got friends sometimes who will tell you, you know this girl, and just be careful. Yeah. And family too. But because, you know what, you are so fixated at your object of desire, you are not even listening to anyone. This is why some of these marriages are so short-lived. And then there's the other side of, deception.
Okay.
When you get married, put your cards on the table. Be open to each other. I don't want to get married and then
how about
4 months down the line, because at my age.
Do you have to do this after marriage or before?
No, it's before.
It has to be before.
It has to be before.
I think that brings.
But people, even vanhu kumba chaiko hama, vanovanza.
So you need to do premarital investigation.
She is right.
Not investigations.
But why should I investigate?
You shouldn't have to investigate.
I need to know.
Listen.
No, but why don't you just
you need to set the standards.
The
standard
you cannot hide, Vana.
You cannot.
And she's right when she says
yes.
There will always be indicators of who the person is in the relationship. My tete told me, she said, the person that your boyfriend is when you are dating, when he becomes your husband, it's magnified in times 2.
Yes.
So if you are willing to accept that and you are comfortable with those characteristics, by all means get married. But if you are not
your husband, but your spouse.
But people have
just
spouse. Okay.
They think she will change.
Okay,
I will change
them.
I want to take you back a little. When about times you convinced the
groom to get married.
The groom to get married.
No, it wasn't just me, but I'll explain further.
Okay, it reminds me of this other friend of mine way back. She was convinced by the pastors.
At what stage was she convinced?
Before dating.
Okay.
So they set them up.
That's different.
So yes, they said
Masofa.
Yes, and then Muskan Akaram, she wasn't feeling it.
And she was pressured.
Yeah, and she was pressured.
Because there was no one outside.
But they didn't last a year in marriage. What do you have to say?
Well, it's unfortunate the pastor is not there. Because that's another discussion for another day. Exactly. With due respect to pastors, but I think I won't touch on.
Let me touch on it. You know what? It's pathetic. What is happening in some of these churches? The matchmaking is shocking. You know, munaningane munhu wake and they're in a relationship. But mostly if it is a guy, because and in the church there's a certain brother who's there. You know, we will not mention names, Yema churches, but there's a particular church that is notorious
for that.
For doing
I
this.
can mention the name if you are that afraid.
Just trying to be, politically correct. But there are a number of stories. I actually know of a story of a girl who ended up having to commit suicide. You know, because of these forced sort of marriages. So I don't agree with it. You know, people should be allowed to make their own decisions.
And all right, you're an elder.
Yeah.
And your marriage is not working. You're struggling. You're enduring pain every day. I would
also like to touch on what Marshall said. Unfortunately, I have to just put it as it is. You know, churches are the greatest perpetrators of, the increase in divorces. From the very beginning, we have doctrines in the churches where you are told, "Vaskana wasnamboro wasumudza imao." Come and receive your marriages at the pulpit. We are running there like headless chickens. We are getting there. Teresa offering papa, my marriage in December. By December I'll be married. And the marriage is not coming. And then tada romancha. You are promising these girls marriage. You are promising them and on top of that, you promise them that the marriage is going to be a bed of roses. It's going to be perfect. Like the angels have come down and they are going to be the brides and the bridegroom. The angels from heaven are going to come at we are selling dreams to these little girls. It's really not fair. I think when it comes to my marriages, my pastors should be honest with you. They should make these couples go through premarital counseling months before the marriage, where you show them the lived realities of what to expect within the marriage, the challenges that they are likely to face. So that when they go in there, they don't go in there star-eyed, starry-eyed, rose-colored glasses on. No, they go there very sober. That okay, I might expect this. Then let me navigate this way around this and that. So I think at the end of the day, churches should be honest. Most churches are not. And I think for them it's about statistics and ticking off the boxes to say how many girls
marriages do we have?
And like he mentioned a very important issue where in terms of economically. Guys, we have proper girls, professional girls, falling in that trap of getting married to a man who has nothing to sustain himself, who's not doing anything just because he's a church boy. Just because Mkumana ended up church.
But is that a problem?
It's not a problem, really.
Or is the woman?
Because look, so you're saying she didn't set a standard?
Of course.
Ladies,
guys,
no.
Let's be honest. What she's saying, Wandinyenga. I remember you did a chat about
yes, money in relationships.
Yes. Let's start from there. Muchato wacho chaiwo. The guy can't even fund the wedding. Kuti kubva kudheko zvese hapana chavanoita. I mean, honestly, how do you expect that man to suddenly turn into a billionaire?
Listen, the guy is still trying out. Like you know what? Can I tell you something? I think we're falling into a trap of women must find ready-made men. I think you can if you're honest with each other and you know where everyone is.
But you are finding a ready-made woman. So I'm already ready-made. Why should I have the men who I should make?
Listen, why should women only be the ones who get ready-made? Men can also, if it is agreeable between the two of them, depending on how he has sold his story to the woman and his vision, and she's agreeable to it. There is
nothing wrong. Thank you.
Yeah.
As long as you agree that you know what, I'm the for now. You see,
and you agree.
The problem with vakadzi vazhinji vamwe vacho, we are looking for a full package.
True.
Ndogara ndakataurira these young girls kuti ukaona a scrubbed up guy
There's a
Trust
woman
me,
behind it.
Somebody is
Definitely.
Here we go.
Marshall, definitely.
I'm telling you.
No.
No,
That's not true. That's not right.
No. It is true.
No, that's not right. That is not.
Justify yourself.
No, listen. Do you know what? I think the world has really evolved. Men are able to groom themselves. They're men who like fine things in life. They're men
I
who,
agree with you.
You know. So just because you look good and you no.
I'm saying I think he's not getting what I'm saying.
All right.
I'm saying in terms of women.
All right.
Yes.
When you find a guy who's well scrubbed up,
yes,
well done up.
Oh, done. Kazhinji kacho.
90%.
And
of
more
the time.
than 90%.
Good job,
Atori ne munhu wake
good
kudhara.
money, scrubbed up. It's either of three things. He's good looking,
Yes.
he's clean, his clothes are clean and fresh, he's got a car, he's got money, he's working. Kana pachishota one,
Listen, last
sinogona
night-
kunzwisisa. But kana
Yes,
zvese
I'm
zviripo
Last night,
there's definitely a woman
last
behind
night I
that
watched
man.
an interview,
Yes.
right, of one genius, right? He was talking about his house and how it's
watched that.
detailed
Yes.
and everything else. And he's saying, "This is all me." You know, for me, I do decor, right? For events, even interior decor, I can say, you know, we're gonna do the colors with the curtains this way.
Yeah.
There are men like that.
Metrosexual.
They are men like
who are in touch with their feminine side.
They are, but genius.
He doesn't even know when to begin.
I'm trying to find the right words
The right
because I
word.
listened
To the interview.
to the interview.
Yeah.
He did mention kuti, oh, I can call it the Playbill's mansion. Kana ndiri musikana inini. To me, genius munhu achiri kufara.
It's not marriage.
It's
You
not
know what?
hiding
Yes,
it.
he's not even hiding it.
It's
2.5
not hiding it.
meters of
No, it's not
so
hiding
When
it.
I get to be genius girlfriend,
I should know.
I shouldn't want to change genius.
Exactly.
Uri kuzvinzwa? Because andiisira makadzi ake patebho
table.
akandiudza kuti
Ndiri
inini
kufara.
ndiri kuda kufara.
I can put a sticker
So
that
for
says
me
Playboy
to be
House.
saying to him,
Let's get
no,
married.
chuya uchengete vana, I want to do this, I want to do that, stay at home.
You'd be like, no.
That's not, it's not fair for me to be forcing genius kuti aite zvandiri kuda inini.
Hey,
But ndo pamene makatarisaka.
But ndosaka ndiri kukudza kuti isusu
We
vakadzi
don't set the
sometimes vamwe
standard.
vacho
She's right.
we tend to look at the wrong things.
Exactly.
Enda kune munhu ari ready. You know what?
Once
You,
settled,
when
who's
you're
done playing,
dating,
settled, then
yes.
you settle
What
down.
do you want in a relation? People don't discuss those things in a marriage.
True.
Mari chaiyo mamarriages
Money.
munovanzirana unoita kadhiri kako uko
Wakusa 5,000 aside.
okay, let's go back to
Before we
my
go,
conditions.
before we go to the
conditions.
before we go to the conditions, I just wanted to bring in an important point, and it's something that I've been raising on my social media, and I've a book that's about to come out. It touches on some of these things. We're talking about the church and the institution of marriage, and you touched on premarital counseling. I put a lot of blame on the church. I actually call it my big accusation to the church. You see, my marriage has my problems because a lot of stuff has not come out. Premarital counseling, where does it start? The church seems not to recognize lobola or rora
Is a formal
as marriage,
Exactly.
right? So by the time I'm badara rora, I'm in the church to a premarital counseling, and you discover actually I'm 3,
Yes.
right? Rora yakaita sei? Yakabhadharwa. So for me, premarital counseling it should start matomobvisa.
Whilst you're dating,
Yes, man.
we are now serious.
Yeah, exactly. Then you start walking the journey, and the church needs to really work on that. And I think besides the church, I think other those who offer counseling services, should get into a place where they open themselves up. And if people are serious about getting married, you need to ask each other tough questions. It's not just kids. HIV status. Are you in debt or not?
Especially debt.
And all these other things.
Yes.
So for me, I believe people do not do their homework. Like she said, you're infatuated and you're excited about this idea of a great guy, mskana ukona pa Insta kuti
Shakabatana.
so people are not realistic about
Thank you.
You
It's
know.
a powerful point.
Right now, showers.
Now,
nerora ceremony.
Yeah, because like I'm saying,
we're talking about
Conditions.
conditions.
I think one of the conditions I would want to mention is
Conditions for divorce?
divorce. I think
Okay.
maybe a valid reason for saying, I'm walking away.
Okay.
I think this one is a public secret. Infidelity.
Infidelity.
Like, but then as women now, I don't understand why we do this to ourselves, where we tell each other that it rains everywhere. You know, I've
Imagine,
heard this statement every uchada kusangana nemurume upe asingadaro, you know, kunonaya kwese, but
Amazing.
I would love to challenge that narrative and say, okay, fine, if I know that it's going to rain, obviously, to avoid that I get soaked, I would carry my umbrella when I see that there are dark clouds in the sky.
Exactly.
And I would exercise some sort of caution to make sure that I don't get soaked through. And it may rain everywhere, but I can put protective measures for myself to say I don't get soaked through. So people may say they do it or whatever it is. Fine. I believe that ignorance is bliss. What I don't know will not kill me. If you're not doing it in my face, no problem. Like I'm justifying it. It is really right. It's wrong from the beginning. But if you decide to do that as my husband, the day I catch it, and you catch your husband today, I want my message, and you're like, okay,
You forgive.
you know what? You forgive, and you say, you know, because I'm in marriage, we have kids, you know. Men do it. It rains everywhere. Yeah?
Men
But
cheat.
it doesn't rain
Yes.
everywhere.
It's not all men who do that. I believe there are some men of good standing out
Thank
there
you. That's
who
very
are
nice.
amazing,
Yeah.
you know, but it's not all of them who are good. But I'm just saying,
Just as
then he
it
does it
is.
the first time, he
It's
does it
not
the
all
second time. You are the one who should have a bank account with a full deposit of forgiveness.
Yes.
It's really not fair. So now when it
But
comes
it
to
goes
issues of
both ways,
infidelity, pane AIDS kunzoko, there are STIs out there. And you know right now what's happening is there's this phenomenon where it's so sad. A married woman, she can now be a small house to another married man. Can you see the what can I say? The
Vicious circle.
vicious circle of sexual activity, how the circle has become
Yes.
big, and how we are exposing one another to things like HIV
Thank you
and
for that
AIDS.
point.
Selfishness has just become something that is been at the top there. People are just thinking of themselves. I want my whatever now. I want my gratification and satisfaction now. Who it hurts tomorrow, people don't care.
Yeah.
So I mean, you are a mother, you've got kids. You want to be alive when your kids grow up, graduate, get married. You know, you want to be part of those steps in their lives. You know, but when someone is exposing you to that risk, why carry on being there?
I think
But you know what? You can only allow yourself to be treated that way.
yeah, you have a decision
Yes,
to
you've
make.
got a decision. Life
got
is
a
about
decision.
choices.
You have a
Alice.
decision to make.
Okay.
It's about choices.
It's about choices.
You see these things. What do you want out of a relationship?
Okay.
For me, I want to add to what Tari has just said and correct a misconception, especially about men cheating. When men cheat, they don't cheat amongst themselves as men. They cheat with women.
Cheat
And-
with women.
And like what she rightfully said, some married women as well these days are not afraid to step out. So when we are looking at this issue, I think we shouldn't address it as a gender issue, you know, because it's men and women who are doing these things, you know. So I think our conversation needs to start changing and say, hey, whether you're a man or a woman, when you're married, that's how things are supposed to be working.
Okay, then we can also look at physical abuse.
Of course,
Emotional
of course, domestic violence, I think is a
And
condition.
financial abuse, I would love to bring that to light. Do you know we have married couples who stay together where women are successfully fighting for maintenance? Vachigara vese.
Oh, yeah.
Because murume anaenda kubasa asi mari yake month end hatisi kuona kwairi
That's just
vana vari kuda
done,
fizi chikafu chikuda kudyiwa mumba
That's
asi
sad.
mari yako saka she goes and she files successfully for maintenance, you
That's
know.
sad.
That's financial abuse as well in the marriage, and men are doing it a lot.
Women
these
are not doing
days.
it
Oh
as
my
well?
goodness.
Women are not doing it as well?
I speak from a woman's perspective.
For me, as
I'm
a
woman.
condition, something that I've been seeing, and I think something that we have not highlighted. I think another reason for people to divorce that I've noted is when the love is gone.
I disagree. I want to disagree. You know
Okay,
what?
I'll give you a chance to disagree. Let me just
Go
try
on,
and
Basho.
finish. Right? I think there's some times where people, you can just tell with tango gara,
Tango
the
tandara.
chemistry
It's
is
gone.
gone.
Many marriages are like that.
You know, so I'm actually going to bring it as a question. Is that a valid reason?
I
Yeah,
think
of course
And
it is.
It is.
You live once. Why would I want to live 60 years and 80 miserable? You know
But you have
what?
responsibilities. You've
What
brought
responsibilities?
you've brought children into this
Children.
world. You've brought to bring them into in a home.
I
I believe
Miss
in a
Lolo.
marriage.
No.
Miss Lolo. I
Children.
think Miss Lolo, you are forgetting one valid point
What?
you made with regards to. I
Yes.
think it touches to Marshall's point,
Yes.
where you said for a marriage to work, most of the times, you need to have one of the best friendships ever.
Yes.
So what he's saying, if the love runs out, so you mean tell me that the friendship goes out the door as well? What are you saying?
There's no one who was cheated. There's no one who's beat up anyone. There's no one who has abused anyone financially.
Because even I believe love doesn't work in isolation.
When you've tried everything, you know, there are always some things that you and me don't want to be open about. There is a reason.
There's a reason.
Love just don't go, guys.
Miss Lolo, what's love in a marriage? Now define that for me.
Now we're getting more specific.
What is love?
Okay, I'll tell you a scenario that I know in Evan Wakawanda. We meet Tiriang, Ndoita Numbu, I get pregnant, and Shatabotaura Jia. Family yake yoti fashion na hii susu unorora atite vana vanenda. Yes, they are not even listening to kuti iyeka deep down ka relationship yangu naye yanga isiri yekuti ticharora anditi zvangoitika. Then later orora we have our 4 kids. You know, when you are growing up, people change. People evolve.
Do people change or do people become themselves?
No.
People change.
They
change.
People yes. So later on, you know, as you are getting, and you know, when you are getting older, you become bolder.
Amen.
Okay. Yes. Yes. When you turn 40, you know, I can tell someone, this is can you do this? Don't you know? I can say, you know, even Kuchech, Kudara tell me in the 20, 30 something. But you know what? Now, if you tell, I can say, I'm from this and I'm being so honest. I can say no with a smile.
Okay.
So that comes in part question yako. We've done everything. Vana vaenda tatu atina. You know what? Your cup is now.
So it's 55.
Yeah.
It's 58.
Your cup is empty.
Really. Come on, guys.
I can't see myself as a 55-year-old.
The best years of your life are gone.
Why not just tell someone, let them free and be happy for the rest of your life now?
I think
why would you want to be stuck in a marriage setup?
Okay.
No, I'm being honest. Why? You know, I value my happiness. In any, I always say I've got a fragile heart. Kana kurara ndakatsamwa so andigoni. That's why I will tell you kana wakanya ndobva ndakutaurira topedzerana. Kana tisiri kupedzerana hazvishanda. It's not working. Ngatishanda nezvinoshandika. That's all I'm saying. Okay. Yes.
Okay, I wanted to say in a marriage setup, for me, I think children are a third party.
Thank you.
The extended family, actually. Do extended family, actually.
Because nyaikonde kuti munhu akandinyenga, akandipfimba muroti, akanditi it's for life, me and you. Yes. It's you. Before the children.
And the vow was made.
And the vow was made between me and you. Our children, I will not stay in a marriage for children.
Yes.
I will not do that.
If I'm unhappy.
Is there anything wrong? Where you decide, you know,
everything wrong.
No.
May I tell you what's wrong with Karavana? Can I? Karavana, you run the risk of 1, depression. 2, you end up being suicidal. Those children you are staying in that bitter marriage for, they will end up having behavioral problems because you are bitter. Mama, an example I'll give, I don't want to use these personal examples, but my grandma, in their 70s and their 80s with my grandfather, my grandfather is now older. Funga ma vendetta na 20 years ago, 30 years ago, I come into play. She would cook sadza for him. Instead of kutivava pe sadza zvakanaka, you know what she would do? Sekuru wangu akagara, she would just slide the plate there. Kuti sadza. Tingazosvika ku level iroro here. Let's not get to that level. And wagarira vana. Saka bitterness yacho is not worth it. My BP,
and what are you teaching?
And what are you teaching your children?
My relationships are in the future.
Or you are perpetuating a vicious circle in their lives. Yes. What they are seeing,
Are we not perpetuating a vicious cycle of divorce as well? Because you know what?
we are not supposed to.
Can I tell you something?
No.
When we leave this place, this is my wish, that we don't leave. I think I said it off air, that we don't come across as very bitter people.
True.
Marriage does not work.
Or we are saying divorce is okay.
Divorce is okay. It's a readily available option.
No, but we are saying, you know what? People should have beautiful marriages.
Yes.
That's what we are saying.
But if it's not working,
walk
away.
Don't force it.
A happy parent is a better parent.
Okay.
Depression is
the
real,
new age.
Marshall. Depression
What do I
is
call
real.
it? New age
Suicide is real.
You know, there's a saying that goes, the apple doesn't fall very far away from the tree.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell I remember there was a talk about leaving a legacy for your children. Vanhu vachiti why is it maboy isusu hatigoni kusiyira vana vedu nhaka. It starts with you and me.
True.
Okay.
Yes. Business wise, whatever. It was an issue anti-nuptial contract.
All right.
Kuti how do you protect my assets, you know, things like that. Vana vakakura vachiziva kuti zvinhu zvinoumbilidzwa ndezvedu. Vachiona my parents achiita. They will grow up knowing kuti
it becomes second nature.
It's so easy for them. Kuti you know what, we are supposed to marry. Vakadzi vedu vachishanda tichiita vana zvichienda kuvazukuru nevazukuru. You don't get into a marriage zvanga zvitaurwa uyu ndichitoziva kuti ndakataimira dzimba dzaMarshall ane 3 ndikagara naye 2 ndomudhivhosa ndotora 1. No. It's not a marriage. Itori plan yandinayo yandiri kutomufungira. Saka you cannot call that a marriage.
True. And I think a carry home I would want to mention is, I think like Marshall said, let's not dwell on ending up appearing to be bitter people and saying divorce is okay. I think the carry home should be, what do we do to maybe help the problem or make the problem maybe less. My suggestion would be, I think, re-socialization of our children. I think we should be so open to our children to tell them, you know, marriage, this is what it is. These are the expectations. These are the roles. It's work, manamu. It's not as easy as you see it on TV, a woman wearing a white gown, she's walking down the aisle. We need to tell our children the lived realities of marriage and not try to paint a rosy from a very young age. Socialization, haingotangiri panyaya dzemarriage chete, even nyaya dzegender roles. Kusuka ndiro kuna mumba mwana, there's nothing as bad as kuti warera mwana wako mukomana. Now he goes into the world out there, he's now independent. He can't wash for himself. He can't cook for himself. He expects with Kanarora, that woman is the one who's following up behind him, picking up this and that. That's when the abuse then now starts, where he starts abusing that woman. Because there's a time when she'll get tired. She'll be like, so gender roles.
I'll tell you this.
Yes.
My mom, she's late now. Amazing woman. I think growing up, I hated her for what she made us do.
But she was way ahead of her time.
She was way ahead of her times.
Yeah,
she'd say, "Ukarola manuaris, asimskana bas, munobatsirana bas." You know, so take her up a corner close to the shops and the school. And I'm shines up a front. You know, and the girls are passing in the bush and everything.
You know, when I was coming here,
yeah.
I passed through the bank, Stanbic. Because of time. And you know this guy, Antona Njimai, Vamira Bado, and he opened the door. And he says, Pindai Fest, do you know there are good men in Zimbabwe? We are still here. You know, I just say to myself, oh my God, I wish I could have stopped it. You know, yes. But you know what? I felt so special and so hopeful. And you know, like he spoke as if I mean, it was quite.
So you see, men were still okay.
Yes, and I said, oh, thank you. You know, with a big smile. And I said, oh, and he let me in. Push Papa my door up.
He's got a good man.
Yes,
that's
what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. So and I think this is where as well it goes back to the take home that when divorce happens, it's the woman that normally gets the children.
True.
So this vicious cycle is perpetuated, I'm sorry to say, but by women because of how they're raising us. My mom was a single mother and she raised us in that particular way. So I think the duty now goes back to the parent rather, who has the kids. you know, how you teach them.
No, not who has. Both parents. Now we are.
It's a shared
Do you know what I'm saying? Who has the kids? Who has the kids?
The custodian of the kids.
Why would you be absent even when we are divorced?
Let's be realistic, guys. There are actually there are situations that are there that some men are so irresponsible that after divorce they walk away and they walk away.
Saka, are you giving an excuse?
No, I'm not giving an excuse.
So why are you saying
I'm not giving an
like
excuse. I'm saying,
you know,
because in most cases. Let's guys, come on. That's the reality.
But
that's
the
out
best
there.
men, if you know, the best men have been raised by single mothers. And I will just end that
I will not disagree. I will not disagree with that. But I think we need to be realistic in the way that we are, you know, looking at our issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, one last thing. You mentioned that marriage is not an easy road. It's a whole lot of hard work. Now what is happening is munhu akufundidzwa kuti kurohwa hard work. It's part of the insurance that she should suffer kusvika azosvika chaipo chaipo. Akufundidzwa kuti emotional abuse. Vamwe watoone kuti they're being abused. Yet mental health yake
compromised.
Yeah, so it's so sad kuti vakutora zvisizvo kuhorirwa afunga kuti it's part of the journey. It's part of the journey. It's so sad. I will always say kuti if it isn't working,
Throw it in the bin.
yeah. Divorce is actually preferable to a marriage without love.
yeah, I think we should just empower these
I think
people.
we need balance, guys.
Yeah.
We need to be careful.
And you know what,
we need to be
Marshall?
careful. We need balance.
Ndikadzokera kumba ndinenge ndakutonzi hure vanayo haana hono haana chii banditi tambozvitaura yeah. The society.
But I'm saying,
you know,
Alice, what I just need to correct is that when you are saying it that divorce is an option, we can walk out. Let's say divorce is an option when you have tried.
Yes, when you have tried. Yes.
If you try and it doesn't work.
but will you agree?
No, are you saying at first strike, then that's it?
Pane strike isingaiti nyangoite first strike. It goes to the fundamentals of a marriage. You just pick your bag and
I think those are the real issues now. That it
what strike?
At what strike?
And what type of the nature of the strike?
The conditions again come back. Because you know what? Sometimes I think, guys, I think my heart, my wish is that we leave a positivity around this. But you know what? Yes, divorce does happen. It's okay, but as the last resort.
What I don't want kuti tibabadzirane pazvinhu zvisingashandi. If it's not working, it's not working. Usarega munhu achizobuda ane chirwere. Usarega munhu achizobuda ava mentally disturbed because of marriage, because of the status.
Do you know, Kuti, I just feel, Kuti, sometimes, yes, Kuti, we ignore the boy child a lot.
True.
Thank you.
We really do, because when people are getting married in Tinongonzwa bridal showers, do I know it where you know the girl bachelor abamuudze kuti you know what mukadzi anobatwa sei.
Exactly.
So it starts from there, because I think the attention has been so much on the
women, and so we walk into marriage. There is expectations, but no one has taught you how to be man.
Ungazova emeni waudzwa musi webachelor's party.
But that's what we are saying. Let's not.
It's a process.
Ignore the boy child.
And Miss Lolo has hit the nail on the head. I was saying this on Facebook to somebody else to say, look, when a marriage fails, the blame is on the woman. But let's be realistic to also say that, okay, most of the times they say even the woman has failed sexually to satisfy her husband. But my question to you now is, men, the generation of men of our generation, murikunyatsvoziva here how to sexually satisfy your women? Vanasekuru vaya vakudhara vaya vaimbodzidzisa vanhu, are they still teaching men how kuti mukadzi anobatwa sei in the bedroom? Because the woman is the one expected. Buy beads, drink this concoction, izora chakati, pfeka chakati, dai o, enda uko, ona imainiki, hey chinamari, yowe zvikasenge. Everything is just looking at the woman, but what is the role of the man? No, wait, Masha.
No, I want to agree
Let me carry on. And the marume, mira, all they know is
everything. They do. But it's also like I said, Kutichi, tinotaura. But ivo vanoita muchiwanda.
But chinondirwadza now is that
can I speak as a man on this?
Anzandapedza chinondirwadza ndechekuti then in terms of a marriage failing, there's a certain arrogance around men where he goes finger pointing or blame finding and saying she failed in the bedroom, she couldn't perform. Kazhinji kacho, to be honest, why we even see married women stepping out of their marriages, because men sexually, you are failing. That is why kwanisika kuti mombo noitwa china mwari chenyu, and sure that generation is long gone.
Listen, let me correct you. Let me correct you. It's both ways. There are women who listen. I think what I want us to leave these viewers with is, let's not focus on gender and say varume. And where I would want to agree with you is that as men we are taught to be macho. So where you don't know how to perform in the bedroom, you can't openly talk about it or openly ask friends, or
and when your woman tries to say it's
true. I want to agree with you. So it's on us as men to to be open-minded, and I think to even read as well.
But I think men need to take this seriously. Marshall, if you could open a school where men are taught how to satisfy their women sexually, empower the boy
Are you suggesting that I start a sex
call it whatever you will, but something along
a sex master class?
But then it's empowering the boy child.
No, I totally agree with you that in as far as that side of relationships are concerned, I think there is it's true that those roles. It's unfortunate that the extended family is set up has been destroyed because of the economy, migration and all those things. But there is need for, I think that's where institutions like the church come in. Yes, Dad. The church is so patriarchal. I'm sorry, it is the underpinnings of patriarchy. The woman is subordinate over there, so the church can't be expected to play that role. You know what? Okay, so where do you expect men
if you become a pastor, then in your church, yes, I expect that.
Let me ask, where do you expect men to learn then?
No, you can't leave it to the church.
I said it's one of the institutions. I'm not saying that they should be the one in the home.
It must
the home is where we have said that the family unit, or the extended unit, has been destroyed.
Don't leave it kunana tete. That channel has been eroded. My parents edu chaiwo.
So my dad should tell me how to satisfy a woman.
Not really, but Inina, I've got two daughters. We are very open with each other. Avatike kundibvunza anything. Because kuvaya vachiri vadiki.
Socialization again.
Be open. You don't even have to relationship you don't even have
there is no topic that's
starting. Akuna unotozviziva.
But you know what, guys, the arrogance of this generation, and you are failing to make the women happy. That's why some of them are even stepping out. Also, besides the emotional abuse, and besides that, and when you do that, you have the nerve to go there, chest out. Name him anonza anona kanopima kunaka kungeya nakazvizwa kupiko izvo apa ugoni iwewe chaiwe hausikugona sinofamba chiti mwanaki
munhu generation varume vedu kuti hausi kunaka.
It's getting hot.
No, I just want to just throw a spanner in the to say these are things that are happening. It's lived realities. Men who don't even know how to sexually please a woman are the very first ones to point a finger and say, but if you love your partner, this is just my view. If you love your partner, if that channel of communication is open to the two of you, if you're good friends, I don't think it's a bad thing to say,
all right, let me agree with you and make you happy.
Thank you.
Let me face the camera. This is for you guys out there, right? For married guys. Okay, let's keep it there, right?
Yes.
I think as men we need to open up and allow our women to teach us how to satisfy them, because it is a woman who understands her body and how she wants to be touched and where she wants to be touched. So I think for us as men we need to start opening up.
You should feel free to tell me what makes you
exactly. I think it comes down to communication, where you're able to to be sexually free and express yourself and say, you know what, can we do it this way? And then varume, like what you said, mukadzi akati ngatidai, so then you think wakazizakupi, and then so it's, I think
be friends.
African way do we are, that's where it kicks in. So I think as men we need to start opening up and just here's the thing. Can Andaita open up kutitari? How do I?
Do you know what? A woman who really loves you. No, Masha, a woman who loves you will never go around speaking about you like that. If you have failed to respect your woman and she no longer feels loved, that's how she walks nonchalantly speaking about you like that. But if you still love your woman and she feels loved, she will preserve that dignity of her husband. To say, I don't say such things about my husband in public.
No,
she won't. It's the man who has abused his wife and is no longer giving her the attention. Who walk
one thing that I would do before we go off here is to take responsibility.
Yeah.
As you know, for my brothers and all of us as men. We are trying to fight this thing. Some of it is actually, if not most of it, is actually very true. And I think it's time we owned up as men and started taking responsibility.
I think the beginning of this discussion should have begun in terms of why are divorces now rife? Why are there many? And everything, to be honest with you, I think the social fabric, the moral fabric of our community just has been disabled by the economy.
Listen, we have families who are on different continents.
So and people have options. If you are a man with money in this economy, the options are so magnified, whether married or unmarried. And the ones who are married then decide they are no longer getting married. They are sampling the varying options, and it's bad.
Wow. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching Reality Chat with Alistair. But I will tell you this. Marriage is a journey, yes, but if it gets tougher and tougher, you can always change the road. Until next time.
She's saying this because it's
For these and other stories, visit our website www.263chat.com. Follow us on Twitter @263chat and like our Facebook page 263chat.